I know what's going through Berkley's head right now.
Oh, nakedness!
Strange rules.
No debauchery.
It's fat guys versus skinny guys. Never seen.
What do you know about dating apps, Bert?
It was the king. Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sick Golf Trips podcast, where everyday golfers share their stories, budgets, formats, and mistakes and more so that you can get ideas and get inspired to make a memory with your own sick golf trip. How's it going today, Berkley?
Man, it's going amazing, brother. I'm so excited for our show here with Sick Golf Trips. Man, I tell you, every show has been different. Every show has been fantastic. Looking forward to the show today. And I tell you, Carrie, I've been golfing a lot. And a lot of these bets that all of our different groups have had, I've thrown some in there.
You tried some of the formats and the bets that we've been introduced to?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic. It's so much fun. I mean, I have so much more fun when I'm betting. And it's not about the money. It's not about the money.
It's the bragging rights.
It's bragging rights. I could care less, Carrie, if I beat you for a quarter. I am going to let you know that I took you for a quarter. You know what I mean? And the fight gets right down to the last. Yesterday, I was up by 2 going into the last hole, and I gave up 2 strokes, and it was even. So I didn't have to pay anything. I didn't win anything. But, man, the last hole got me. So, yeah, man.
I have a regular foursome that I play with. We always play overall, skins and overall. And the overall, our little wrinkle is there's no max on the last hole. So usually there's a triple bogey max if you take on a hole. But the last hole, there's no max. And so you could go in +2, +3, and you could just blow up with all the pressure. And it's just so fun to watch or play.
I absolutely love that. So what we've kind of been doing is it's $1 a hole. You got a par to win the hole. We do carryovers, and we do $3 birdies. And every par 3, we do $3 closest to the pin. You got a par to win.
Do you do the reverse? If you're on the green, you're closest on the green, but if you don't par it, you actually have to pay out.
Oh, that is unbelievable. That is really good. Now, you're paying everybody out?
Yeah, because you're closest, you should make par, right? So it's the funniest when you're the only one on the green, you're the closest, but yet you're still 40 away.
Right. I'm going to throw that in for tomorrow. I'm throwing that in for tomorrow. No, that's great. I think that is fantastic, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing some other ways in today's show. I can't wait.
Today we've got Ryan Berger, and you're going to talk about Kiawah. But before we get to that, let's bring our sponsor or talk to our sponsor, Club Happy.
Yes. So Club Happy is a group of golfers, guys and girls that I put together either from meeting at the course, because the greatest place to meet new friends is on the golf course. And a lot of times I'll go and golf, by myself if I can't find anyone to golf with. Well, you look on an app and I see which one needs one player, knowing that I'm going to meet 3 new people today. So you do that. And then, if they're cool, I said, hey, you guys, love to get your number and include you in my Club Happy group. Hey, if you guys are going out golfing, you got a tournament coming up, or you got a pair of shoes that you want to sell, we kind of have this little this text thread going, and everybody jumps in. Hey, I'm golfing on Saturday. I need a guy. Just a great way to network, great way to build up your friends. Club Happy is a fun little group like everybody has. I just decided to come up with a logo and hat and have some fun with it.
Very cool. So Club Happy, first franchise location in Southern California, but maybe potentially opening up across the globe someday.
That would be amazing.
Awesome. Ryan, welcome to the pod. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
You're going to talk to us about, how do you know how to pronounce it? Kiawah?
Kiawah.
All right.
Yeah.
Where is Kiawah?
East Coast, South Carolina.
Nice.
It's a great spot. A lot of East Coasters are very familiar with it. It's a great vacation destination with a ton of good golf.
Wow.
So is that by Hilton Head Island or?
Yeah, that whole area, a bunch of folks go down there from the Northeast for spring break and have vacation houses down there. And there's just so much good golf.
Yeah, Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about the trip, when you went, how it came together, how many guys you had, etc.
The specific trip was 2024. We've actually, this group of guys had been there twice total, but it's a college group of mine. We try and get together every year and golf somewhere. Typically, we end up with 8. We've had as many as 12 in the past, but typically we'll get 8 guys to go. Yeah, we got people from the South, Boston, Ohio, you name it, and we all try and get together, head out, and kind of make it a 3/4 day weekend, depending on what people are able to get away from work for and what the travel looks like.
Nice. So college buddies. I'm sure that's got to be a good time. No debauchery happening on those trips, huh?
Yeah, none whatsoever. It is. It's funny when it comes to the college crew. It's like no time passes. You might not have seen somebody for 2 years, and you slide right back into the old routine. Everybody giving each other a hard time, and some getting after it a little bit more than others. But it's always a good time with this crew.
Carrie's always got his head in the gutter, I tell you. He's always got his head in the gutter.
Yeah, but I dream and live through others, whereas you actually do.
Says the guy who likes to travel to, family-owned private islands and everything else.
So how did you guys decide on this place? Like, how did you find it? I never heard of this place.
Yeah, so like I said, a lot of people from the East Coast are very familiar with Kiawah, but this trip in particular came together because one of the guys who's done well for himself was a member at a golf club there, 𝐲𝐿𝐻 Island Country Club, that has a couple of different courses. So he kind of hosted us, if you will. We have an unofficial golf trip committee who helps put together the trip every year, because then they can also pick the weekend that works for them and then send it out to the group at large. But it's a great way to do it. They plan the trip, they pick the courses, they find an Airbnb or a VRBO for us to stay. We all show up the same day. This one we've done a couple times around the NFL draft weekend. Seems like a good weekend for us to get together. It's also a fun nighttime activity. So we got set up. We got in Thursday, played a round of golf, and then Thursday night we went back to the country club, and it sounds weird. We had dinner in the men's locker room, and it's not a men's locker room like anything you've ever seen.
I know what's going through Berkley's head right now.
Oh, trust me. We all had the same thoughts when they told us this was the plan. But I'm not kidding you, man. You walk into this place and
serving sausage, lots of sausage there.
Lots of sausage. You walk into this place and it looks like you're inside a giant bourbon barrel. Massive projection screen, TV on one end, pool table, bar, poker table, lounge area, and then the actual locker room is off in a different side room from there.
Is it clothing optional then?
Well, here's the funny part. We walk up to the bar to get a drink, and we've been told ahead of time you are not allowed to wear hats. So no hats, even though it's the locker room, we're inside, no hats. And we were joking about it. And one of the guys there said, yeah, unfortunately, that's the only real rule. You can walk up to this bar naked as the day you were born and get served a drink, but you cannot be wearing a hat. So strange rules. But it was something else, man. Sitting in this, what felt like inside of a bourbon barrel, getting served a delicious meal, watching the first round of the NFL draft, pool table, poker table, snacks, bar, the whole 9 yards. It was a great way to kick off the beginning of the trip.
Yeah, and the guy sitting next to you has got his free willy out. Holy Jesus.
Luckily, there's not a lot of people in the locker room at night at country clubs, I guess. So we lucked out there.
So it's a country club. Did you play any public courses out there too?
First one, I think, is called Cougar Point, I believe, was the first one we played, and that was public. Everybody got in, and depending on what time people got in, shared a rental car and drove straight to the course, played there, and then went back to the house to check in and change and get ready, and then head back to this private country club for dinner. And then we played 2 of the different courses at that country club, one Friday, one Saturday, and one other night out. And then one of the nights we had a chef come to the house and cook a meal, which was awesome.
Wow, that's amazing. That sounds like so much fun.
It was epic. And I mean, as far as planning golf trips goes, I mean, we've done this, like I said, just about every year, and I've done a few different golf trips. I did Pebble Beach and Spanish Bay and Spyglass trip with a couple of buddies and loved that. But I think what made this so unique and so cool was like having another activity surrounding golf, the NFL draft. I'm from Philly. A bunch of these guys are from Cincinnati, and so we all have our own teams that we cheer for. That was kind of a fun unifying front. And then the other one was because my one buddy set it all up and it was his country club. He kind of had everything taken care of ahead of time. And then from an expense perspective, he just sent us a bill at the end. So, it's like we're drinking at the golf course. We're doing the dinner. We're playing golf and nobody is fighting over tabs or who's paying what. It's just like, hey, everybody's in. It's divide and conquer. And then, we get home the next week, a spreadsheet shows up and it's not itemized. It's just, hey, we all played golf this day. This is how much dinner costs per person. Venmo or send me a check or whatever for X amount.
It's always nice when you have just someone that organizes like that. Just takes that burden off your plate. It makes it so easy.
100%. I am not that guy. I am not the organizer. I am not putting this stuff together. But you send me a date and you send me an itinerary and tell me buy a plane ticket and show up. I'm all in.
So who was the last guy to pay?
There's always that one guy.
I know there's a story there.
There's always that one guy you got to hunt down, and then he gets berated via text, email, and every other form you can think of. And eventually, all the bills did get paid. I think there were some side bets going on who it was going to be and how long it was going to take. But it was good. We also had a fun time like teaming up. We did fat guys versus skinny guys one time. Everybody had to weigh in the week of, and we put the 4 heaviest guys against the 4 lightest guys, and we do kind of 2 and 2 in each of the foursomes so that we could, keep each other honest and whatever, small side bets here and there. But
I love that.
Let's dig into that a little bit more. Like we always like to hear especially 8. I think 8's a great number. How do you do your formats? Do you do multi-day? Do you do something different every day? What do you guys usually do?
So we usually mix up the teams, but we don't play a bunch of different games. I know people have 1,000 different games to play on the golf course. We usually just do, we try and make it so that they're evenly matched, and then lowest total score by the team at the end of the day wins. And I think we did, I don't know, probably $50 a head or something like that, plus a couple of side bets. We did a long drive.
Just distribute the teams as evenly as you can, and then total score.
We've tried doing handicaps and stuff in the past, and there's a couple of guys that don't keep a handicap, and then there's a couple of guys that obviously nobody trusts what their handicap is. We did when we did fat versus skinny. We looked at we kind of did the eyeball test and figured it's probably pretty fair, and we try and rotate so that you're with 8 guys playing 3 courses. The way we figured it is you're going to have to play with one person all 3 times. But other than that, you can play with everybody. So I put this on a spreadsheet. That was my one task of trying to organize so that everybody could play with everybody else at least one time. But I mean, it works out fun and the money gets spread around. And then the bar that night is always a good time talking shit and figuring all that fun stuff out. So we'd sit down to dinner and everybody hand in their scorecards through. Make sure that everybody's holding each other accountable. And
who was the worst loser? Who was the dude that was just couldn't take losing and everybody was on him?
So we've got a friend. His name is Jay, he's epic for his meltdowns. So who is it? Sergio, who's epic for his meltdowns on the tour, or used to be. Jay is we just wait for that meltdown, and everybody just eggs it on, waiting for that one bad drive to come, and then that just total like chunked pitching wedge, and he just spirals from there.
Is he a club thrower?
I don't think I've ever seen him throw a club. I have seen him get pretty pissed. There's also a debate on longest drive. Is it closest to the pin or is it furthest from the tee box? That was a hotly contested debate because we had a longest drive, and I said it should be the furthest from the tee box as long as it's on the fairway. It's not You know, if it dog legs a little left or a little right, and mine's a little left or a little right, just because his is a little bit closer, mine's further from the tee box. Technically, don't I have the longest drive? And that became a debate. So, I am all for establishing firm rules on all contests before you tee off.
It's always from the tee box.
I'm with you. I think it's always from tee box. I turned around and did the laser pointer back to a tree behind the tee box, but there was a debate on that one.
Wow.
I mean, he might be a better drive overall in that hole, but it's furthest from the tee box for sure.
I agree. I think we ended up splitting it because of the debate. So I shared that cash prize.
You're too nice.
Yeah, you are definitely too nice. And then the other side of it too is usually on the long drive they mark a line down the middle of the fair, and it's also the guy that's closest to that line. It's got to be straight and closest to that line, right?
And in big charity events that I've done, I've seen the longest drive, and then I've seen the straightest drive where they have that line down the middle, and then you just measure. It doesn't necessarily matter how far you are as long as you're at least 200 yards or something like that. But we just our own little thing. So this wasn't a big organized event.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say that we learned to very much appreciate is as you're playing these courses, they do send you out with a caddy. So we had 1 caddy for each group. A couple of these guys would jump from one course to the other because they enjoyed, I think, caddying for us because a bunch of college guys gotten away from their wife and kids and haven't seen each other in a while. We're getting after it a little bit. There's storytelling going on. And then they start getting into the storytelling and sharing some fun golf stories and drinking stories and all the other things that come up on a golf course with a bunch of guys who've had a few. But definitely a good time to add that random other element into the round. And it doesn't help having somebody, fish your ball out of the water or read a putt for you from time to time.
Reading putts that they're familiar with the greens, but also if somehow they have eagle eyes or they just know the course and always know where your ball is.
100%. I always found it helps because if I'm playing a course I don't know, it's tough to trust that that's the exact spot. But if somebody can say, "Oh no, hit your driver over there," even if you're over the left, you're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Versus, well, I think I need to be over there. I mean, the mental game is huge.
Going back to the logistics a little bit, where'd you fly into?
So that's the tricky part about some of those great places in the Carolinas. You typically have to drive. So especially coming from California, I flew in, I think on this one, I flew in the night before and flew into Charlotte, North Carolina, because that's where the guy who is a member at this golf course lives, and I was able to crash at his house the night before, and then he was driving down, and we swung through one of the other airports to pick up a few guys on the way down. We might have actually swung right back through Charlotte to get a couple of the guys who came in because, East Coast flights, so much easier. Just get up in the morning and get there and go. But, all it takes is that one guy whose flight's delayed and then we got a tee time. They come in late and then 2 guys maybe met us on the 3rd tee or something like that trip.
Yeah.
Traffic, rental car, things get backed up.
What time of the year did you go? Because my folks, lived in North Carolina in Greensboro, Raleigh, Greensboro area. Yeah. And I went golfing there one time and didn't make it past the 4th hole because it was so hot. It was so hot. The humidity, couldn't hold on to my freaking golf club. I was sweating. It was a terrible experience. So when did you go?
So this was the end of April. NFL draft is always the end of April, and it was perfect. Great weather. Actually, both times we went there, we had great weather. Afternoon, shorts and a shirt. Maybe if one of the early rounds, we might have worn pants one day, but I don't think so. But definitely it was not too hot. I mean, definitely got warm one afternoon, a little bit muggy. But in my opinion, April is a great time to go. You hit and miss with rain, but you're also right on the ocean. That helps too.
So you drove there an hour, a couple hours. You stayed in the house right there, you said?
I want to say it's a total of maybe a 3-hour drive from where he was down to Kiawah. We went straight to the first course, met everybody there, loaded up the carts with drinks and stuff, and then we're out and playing that afternoon. Drive the rest of the way to where our house was, checked into the house, showered up and everything, and then headed over to his country club that dinner, and then back to the house, drinks that night. Whoever was local, there were a couple of guys who could drive, so they had responsibilities for loading up coolers from Costco and bring in, drinks and snack food and stuff like that, and some breakfast bars and some eggs. I mean, nothing major at the house. We didn't want to do a ton of cooking.
You guys, sorry, you guys spent like obviously at the country club, but is there a town around there that you guys would or people could go hang out with as well, or?
Yeah, there is. I mean, you can definitely go to a few different places, but it's more of, I don't know, it's got that southern charm. It's got those big trees
Yeah.
and big, huge, gorgeous homes. And yeah, you can go out and you can go do other things. And we used to do that on these trips all the time, but I think we kind of got to the point where, we enjoy a few drinks, go out to a nice dinner, maybe hit a bar one night, but for the most part, then we're heading back to the house and just, we don't want to deal with driving, don't want to deal with, the
Yeah.
chaos and everything else. So, back to the house, always
Just want to be alone with our sausage.
Hey, so was
Exactly.
everybody, Ryan, was everybody single, or did you have a little mix, or everybody married? What was going on there?
It's funny as we've gotten older. There was one guy who unfortunately is no longer with us, but there's one guy who was single. Other guys like myself who were married and then divorced and single for a while and then remarried. So it kind of runs the gamut. But most of the guys are all married with kids. So, we're not out trying to do anything extracurricular outside of just giving each other a hard time and catching up
Yeah.
and enjoying it. But I think that was one of the fun parts of having caddies with us was the storytelling from the divorced / single guys and we graduated college in the early 2000s. So
Wow.
dating apps weren't really a thing. We all met our wives the old fashioned way. So then being divorced and going out there and being single again, all the married guys are like, well, hold on a second. How does that work? Tell us about the dating apps. And, so then you're on the golf course and getting after it. And then these caddies start chiming in with some of their stories and it digresses pretty quickly.
That's awesome.
What do you know about dating apps, Burke?
Oh, boy.
I met my wife on one. So
That was the king.
Oh my God, some of the stories you should tell.
Epic.
that's a different podcast for a different day.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What other memorable things can you say about that you could provide advice around for that kind of trip?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna expand on that. Like, how was the course? How were the people you met at the course, workers, and was the course really nice? Did they keep it up really nice? Like, how did they treat you?
The courses were epic. I mean, it helps that two of the three were, again, private country club on a somewhat exclusive island. I mean, they treat you the way you would expect an old Southern exclusive country club. The service, the dining, the beverages, the everything. It's top notch. And those courses are, 𝐿𝐇𝐀𝐏 is one of my favorites. There's multiple holes along the water. You're kind of in a marshland at times. There's some cool, there's not elevation the way you'd think there'd be elevation, but there are some hills and some undulating airways and elevated tee boxes. And they just did a great job with the course design and layout. The ocean course is the more famous, well-known course down there. We didn't get to play that one, but there were some PGA Tour events there and a couple of the famous shots that people talk about when you go down there. I've done a Pinehurst trip. Like I said before, I did Spyglass and Pebble and Spanish Bay, and we've done some random other trips. We all went to school in Ohio, so we've been back to Ohio and played some courses there. This by far was my favorite trip for what it was. If you go to Pinehurst, there you can go out and have more of a nightlife. There's different pubs and people are more apt to have a nightlife. But that's just not, I mean, I think we're just kind of past that point. Yeah, we might want to go to a bar one night, but we're not trying to stay out till all hours and then get up and go the next morning.
Yeah, that's a tough go at it. That's a tough go at it when you're out there trying to boogie loo at night and then get up in the morning and try to hit some balls, man. Ooh, especially if you're betting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not a
Money
good
on the line.
mix.
Some guys can still do it. I'm not one of them.
Well, let's wrap it up. We like to do what we call our guest 6 score framework. So if you're going to rate from 1 to 10, How would you rate the courses?
Cougar was probably a 7. Good public course, nothing crazy. I don't know that I'd give anything a 10 out of 10, but 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐏𝐄 comes pretty darn close. It's just a fun course, as was the river course. Challenging in their own ways, different in their own ways, but immaculate condition. Every hole is different. Having a caddy for sure was a great experience, and getting to then go back and play it a second time and really have a better understanding of the layout was huge. It's golf like only that area can do, with just a combination of the layout, the trees, the marshlands, green out on a peninsula, just gorgeous.
Nice. And the crew?
10 out of 10 always. The crew, that crew, I mean, we all met freshman year in college and have been incredibly tight ever since. So we're talking fall of 98. Gosh, 30 years of knowing each other and really, really close friendships. Good group of guys, great families. It's funny running into them in random places. One of them was just out here with his wife and kids in Southern California for their spring break. 3 other of us who kind of were somewhat in the area, we're all going down to meet up, and you figure out a way. 2-hour drive, I don't care. I'm gonna come over for dinner if I have to, but I'm gonna force my way in.
And what about the format? I know you said try to make it equal, but just maybe compared to other formats you've done with other crews, how do you like this format that you guys do?
I might be an outlier. I don't like competing a ton on the golf course outside of like a closest to the pin or longest drive, unless I'm doing like some of the charity events I've done over the years where you're just doing a scramble. So you need somebody who can putt, you need somebody who can hit the ball long off the tee, and you need a couple of people who are going to be consistent with their irons.
What he's saying, Kerry, is he sucks. That's what he's saying.
No, so as he's saying this, Berkley, I'm thinking I need to get him out there with Berkley, because Ryan is actually really good for as little as he plays these days, and it's so frustrating. Back when I was playing a lot, I would go and then we'd go out with Ryan, who hadn't played in 2 months, and he smokes me. So I'm like, I got to get Berkley out here with him, get him chirping in his ear for a second.
I love playing golf, and I've played with all sorts of different types of people and all sorts of different types of players. I just played over the weekend, actually, down at Monarch Beach with my wife, and had a great time. She plays once a year around my birthday, and she's awesome to play golf with because she's super athletic, is completely unassuming, doesn't really care how well she plays. She'll just pick the ball up and move on. If she plays fast, and she can also bomb the ball. Like, she gets a hold of it and you go, how the heck did you just do that? And I say all that to say, Berkley, A, I'd love to play with you. B, chirp and chirp away. I just think for me, for a golf format, I love the team dynamic where it's like, okay, it's our 4 versus your 4. And it's not every single shot matters. I mean, I used to play a game with a couple of buddies, and it was 2-on-2, and it was, it was like if I shot a 5 and Kerry shot a 6, we'd be a 56. But if you shot a 6 and your partner shot a 7, you'd be 67. And then we had a $1 a point or something like that. So all of a sudden, if one of you chunks one, it can be a 20-point swing in one hole, and then everybody, it's just.
Yeah, we've done that. Ryan has introduced that one to me, and it is actually pretty fun. Yeah,
I've never heard of that. That's awesome. I like that.
All right, in terms of logistics of that place, how would you kind of rate that?
The only thing that could have made it better would have been if we'd had a private driver, which we weren't going to do. But great. I mean, everything was close enough that you get from A to B pretty easily. There's not a lot of car time, with the exception of to and from airport. That was another kind of critical component as we've done this over the years. Nobody wants to be driving 45 minutes to an hour from wherever you're staying to golf and then back. And it's dead time that gets frustrating. It's like, get me from here to there and let's move on to the next thing. So I'd say logistics, 9 out of 10.
Nice. All right. We've got something that we call a run it back mod. Now, I know that you go with this crew every year somewhere different and stuff. But if you were going to advise others out there, how would you rate this run it back? Would you say it's more like it's an annual lock, like you would repeat this every year and go back? Is it a rotational classic? It's in the rotation. Is it one and done, rebuild and run, or lightning in a bottle?
Because of this one, we did do it again. So we did run it back and absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, my friend is no longer a member there, so we can't run it back again. But I would put it in a heavy rotation. I wouldn't say it's the only place we're going to go, because I love going different places and experiencing new golf courses. And if we can get the opportunity, I'd love to get back there. But yeah, I'd say if you haven't been there, if you haven't had a chance to get down to that area and play some golf, you're missing out, and it's well worth it.
Very cool. Well, Burke, what do you think from a Sick Pod FOMO standpoint? Where are you rating this?
All right, guys. I tell you, we've had some great places, unbelievable places. Everybody's different. I'm giving this one the top 3 for sure, mainly because when we go to dinner in the locker room, I'm going to dinner in a full nakedness with a jock strap on, and I'm ordering my beers, and I'm saying, serve me, brother, in my jock strap. That's what's going on.
They'll be serving weenies that night, huh?
I'm having my gerbils be hanging all out. I'm ready to go.
Oh,
Nice.
I figured that get you.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that I have a bias as well towards at FOMO for Country Club because I know the conditions are always pristine. The fact that it's on the ocean, or there's a lot of ocean holes too. I mean, this is right up there for me, like 9, if not 10, as well. Because, yeah, you can't beat that out there with the weather, the country club, the water. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I guess my question for you guys then is, as a guest of the podcast, you guys are now required to take me out for a round of golf. Is that what I understand?
Absolutely. You are in.
As soon as we get a sponsor.
I got you covered, buddy. I got you covered.
All right.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we'll get out there for sure.
I'm in Escondido. Where are you at, Ryan?
Tustin. I'm right around the corner from Cary.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. That's easy, man. We got to go golf. We got to go golf up in OC, man. Let's do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. And side note, I mentioned that I played golf this weekend with my wife. We both witnessed our very first hole in one. We got paired up with 2 other people, and this guy.
No way. Someone in your foursome?
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
2 hole-in-ones?
No, one person. I'd never seen one before, but we got paired up with this guy and this gal who we didn't know them, but this dude just dropped one, 176 or something like that, put it right over the back of the flag, and we're watching it going, oh, it's kind of still moving towards the hole. Oh my gosh, it's got a chance. Oh, it's still moving, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared. And it's if you've ever played Monarch Beach, it's the 5th hole. So the green is right by the first tee and the clubhouse and the snack shack and everything. So there's people sitting in Adirondack chairs just watching, and there's people getting ready to tee off on one, and there's people getting drinks, and everybody erupts. Everybody's cheering.
That is
it was so
unbelievable.
cool to be a part of.
That's awesome.
And then drinking for
That is-
free is always a good thing too. So
Nice. That's so cool. I haven't played Monarch. I heard it's good. It's a little pricey though, yeah.
it's way too expensive these days. I used to play there all the time for like $60. It's changed ownership a number of times. It's still a gorgeous course, but we kind of got a really good package deal that we couldn't resist, so we took
Nice.
advantage.
And it's your birthday. It was your birthday, right?
Yeah, so splurge every once
Fantastic. Well, this has been an awesome episode. Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining. Really appreciate it.
in a while. Thanks for having me.
Thank
This
you
is
so
great.
much, Ryan.
All right, Burke, you want to close us out?
Oh, man, what a great show today, everyone. Ryan really brought it. He brought the energy, brought the house down. I tell you, I love this place. I cannot wait to go there. I definitely would love to go there. And, man, what I'm seeing is that you really have to have a great group. And if you have a great group of guys, it doesn't really matter where you're going, you're always going to have a great time. And how can you not have a better time golfing on the water, golfing in a country club where they're treating you like the nines, dinner, food, everything's ready to go. Everybody's doing their little bit of thing to make sure that we're all having a great time. I loved it. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Sick Golf Trips. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Hit that like and subscribe. All right, see you guys.